Hey guys, this is Brad from Max Rudy. I have my great friend and colleague, James, who is coming here and he's going to be giving us his deck profile for what he took with two nats. He's also going to be telling you a little about what he played and a little bit about just, how the deck ran, what changes he might have made.
Alright, hey guys. Up at the North American Intercontinental Championship, I took the awesome Espeon Garbador. Pretty popular deck up there. I saw it a couple times near me. Luckily, no mirror matches. Mirror matches are no fun for this deck because it's taking turns one-shotting each other. I'll run you through the cards real quick and why I chose each one. First is one of Espeon EX. This card came in real handy against decks like Greninja. If I came across him once just to help get rid of the Greninja with some damage on it and go ahead and get the KO. Easy KOs are always good. Also Metagross, they rare candied into it. I was able to go ahead and just get that out of my way. Wasn't a threat anymore. Super handy. It's a one energy attack. You can't be mad at that. Then let's go ahead and get the rest of the Pokemon line out of here. So, 3 of the Espeon EXs. I'm sure you guys know what that does. Or GX. I'm so used to old stuff. So, the first attack for 1 Psychic. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused. So, early game, super easy, especially with the Eevee we run. Second attack for DCE and a Psychic lets you do 60 plus 30 more for each energy attached to your opponent's Pokemon. So if they got like 2 energy, you're hitting for 120. It's really easy numbers. And then the GX is so much fun. When they start retreating those damaged Pokemon out of the active, go ahead and knock out with a Divide. Lets you put 10 damage counters wherever you like. So you can get 2, maybe even 3 KOs in a single match. Super fun. So we ran 3 of those. I did run 1 Vaporeon and 1 Flareon with the effect abilities to change my typing. The Vaporeon was in there for Volcanion, pretty much. Flareon for Decidueye or Lurantis that I came across. I only came across 1 Lurantis, no Decidueye, unfortunately. Then we have 4 of the Energy Evolution Eevees. It is by and far the best Eevee we have. It lets you, when you attach an energy, you put the evolution of that typing on it. So you throw a Psychic Energy on them, you got yourself an Espeon right away. Then our late game and secondary attacker, we'll start with our 4 Trubbish. Honestly, I used the Stomp Off one just out of necessity, and the Acid Spray is the better one in my opinion, because you can actually get rid of the energy off your opponent's active if you're in a bind. But we have 4 of those. 3 of the Trash Lance Garbador. You guys should know what it is. Attack does 20 damage for each item in your opponent's discard. We run a pretty item-heavy format. People love burning through their deck, and I love taking advantage of that. And 1 Garbotoxin. That helps me shut down. Again, it helps me with my Volcanion matchup. It helps me shut down a lot of other decks that rely on abilities. Decidueyes, if I can't get my Flareon out. Metagross, if I can't get Flareon out. And then, of course, 2 Tapu Lele's for the Wonder Tag.
And the best part about Tapu Lele is if you need to, you can always use its GX attack because you do run Psychic in the deck, so you can heal 2 of your benched Pokemon.
Right.
If that's what you need to do.
Yeah, if you're trying to save your prizes, keep your opponent from getting prizes on you, super handy. Alright, we'll move on to supporters. So we'll have, I chose to run 3 Professor Sycamore, 3 in. With the slower format, you run the chance of decking out if you try to go too fast. I actually had that happen. I think I was down to like 2 cards by the end of one of my matches. So I didn't like running 4 Sycamore. And the ends, of course, late game, it's hard to convince yourself to play them. 2 Lysander, because everybody needs it. 1 Hex, and 1 Kukui. Again, Hex if I can't get my Garbotoxin out, and Kukui's just hit for some good numbers. You know, the extra 20 can help, extra 2 cards in hand, especially late game are nice. You never know what you're going to need. Now, as far as taking advantage of item cards with this deck, it does run pretty item heavy, so that's why the mirror matches are not fun. It runs your 4 Ultra Ball for consistency. It runs 4 VS Seekers to get everything out of your discard that you need. 2 Field Blowers, knocking off Choice Bands, knocking off Float Stones, just to put your opponent in a spot. 1 Rescue Stretcher. If you Sycamore away that Espeon early, you can pull it right back later. It's so handy. 3 Choice Band, and 2 Float Stone are my tools. Float Stone always goes on the Garbotoxin, and sometimes the regular Garbador if I think I need to get it out to get an Espeon in. And I did run 2 Stadiums, which not all lists run. Altar of the Moon, it helps me with my retreat costs. So if I do get Field Blower, it's not so necessary for me to have Float Stones. And the energy is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Psychic, and then 4 DCEs. As far as my matchups went, my end record was 2-2-5. I know that's a lot of ties, but late in the day I knew I didn't have a chance for top cut, so I was just having fun. The lower tables, some of the guys played a little bit slower, and I let them take their time, so that way they had a good time. Because I had 0 chance of top cutting after round 3. I was 1-1-1, and then I kind of slid a little after that. I think one of the best matches I had, I played against a Metagross deck, and he went through my deck like crazy game 1, and then game 2 I had some fun with using Espeon. This deck really shined the second day I was there. We were doing side events, and I cleaned house on a couple side events. One side event I went undefeated, was able to take some nice tickets home from those side events. But as far as the deck, I think it performed all right. I could have probably ran it better. I noticed I made some mistakes, whether it be not dividing when I should have, or not switching out to the Garbador when I had the knockout. It was mistakes because it was a long day. Any changes that I think I would have made to the deck personally, I would have taken out the Vaporeon. Looking back, Volcanion wasn't as big as I expected it to be, and I shouldn't have wasted the spot. For the Vaporeon, I'm not really sure what I'd put in its place. There's a couple options that you can drop in here and kind of float around with. We can theory mon all day about that, but I liked it for the format. Moving forward, I'm not sure if it's as viable. People are definitely running lower item counts. With the next sets, we're going to have Garbador. I think is going to be huge, and they're just going to take all those items right back out of their discard. And I don't think this deck will stand a chance, honestly.
So what are you thinking with, obviously, rotation has been announced, so we are looking at a rotation without, obviously, your Hexmaniac and your Verse Seekers.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only thing that you lose, because I think,
well,
or you lose if they're...
I lose these guys here, so we'll pop these over here. I will be losing my Seekers.
And you lose your Lysander.
I'll lose my Lysander.
Which becomes Guzma.
which becomes Guzma. I mean,
So
we
is all
can't
good.
argue about that. I'll be losing Hex, which is not a huge deal in the format, I don't believe. But we're looking at a list kind of like this. Yeah, there's obviously tons of other support that we can throw in there. I mean, of course, 3 Guzma, throw in
Would you-
3 Sycamore, going with a 4th N.
So you're going to keep the 3 Sycamore? You won't go to a 4th one?
I don't think that's a whole lot of draw support. I would probably, personally, I'd probably drop a 2nd Kukui in.
Instead of the 4th Sycamore.
Instead of the 4th Sycamore, go 4 Sycamore, or I'm sorry, 4 N, 3 Sycamore, 2 Kukui as far as draw support. I think that's substantial enough, especially grabbing out Tapu to get whatever you need when you need it.
Are there any other supporters that you would add in, maybe? Maybe grab a Steven, or... Because I know Steven's real big right now, or maybe even a Bridget, or a Pokemon fan club.
Steven's interesting. I don't like it, because you have to draw into it, and it kind of burns your turn. You get it for an energy, pretty much. You'll waste your Lele to grab that just to get your energy. And I'm not sure that that's useful enough. I'd much rather grab, support or anything. This deck doesn't starve of energy. I have 1 energy attackers, 2 attachments for the Espeon. It's not really a problem this deck has.
Well, I mean, obviously, we don't have necessarily a lot of energy denial in the format right now, because you're obviously not seeing a lot of Lapras.
Yeah, Lapras is holding back. We're not seeing many Hammers, because Hammers are afraid of Garbador.
What do you think about people we did a video a little bit ago where we have a rogue deck that's really all energy denial with Flare Grunts and with Skull Grunts, and it's heavy energy denial where it doesn't allow your Pokemon to attack. So obviously one of the things that this has over a lot of the other decks is it has a lot of good secondary attackers.
Yeah.
How obviously if you see some rogue decks like that, how would you deal with that in the new format?
If you're running decks that are heavy energy denial, that run heavy supporter lines in lieu of heavier item lines, a single DC attached to Lele is a good option. A single Psychic to your Espeon, just to get that confusion, can go a long way for the game state. Depending on what they're running or what the format turns into, Mimikyu could be fun in this deck. Again, it's a 1 energy Psychic.
1 energy draw 2.
Yeah, well, the playful one. I can't remember exactly what she does now, but somebody was running it in a Metagross deck.
So not the one that's Filch, 1 Psychic, draw 2.
Yeah. So there's some fun tech cards you can throw in here, but honestly, I don't think it's viable. I think it had its time, and I missed the mark on it. It was super consistent, super awesome for me. Before North American, I did really well with it at locals. It just people teched against it. They quit running the heavy item lines. They were a little more careful about getting things stuck and active. Because you rely on that with your Espeon a lot of times. Get them confused, get them stuck there, and just pick at them. It's 2-3 hits to get a KO, but you do what you gotta do sometimes.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for the tech profile, and for all of those who are watching. May your lives be as max rarity as my decks. Have a great day.